December blues. When the year ends, but the soul is still tired. It seems like the soul was left along the way. The body has reached its goal, but the soul is dragging through it. December blues. This feeling at the end of the year, when everybody's talking about celebrating, whatever you look at are commercials, advertisements, with sales, with joy, happiness, celebration. Everybody talking about plans. However, many thinking, I just survived. I can't say that I have reached everything I wanted. I just survived. The year is ended and I'm drained. Yes. This feeling, which is everywhere, regardless of the nationality, social class, there's a name. Was given this name December blues, as if it were a disease. But it is not a disease of the body, but of the soul. It is a tiredness accumulated in the soul for every failure, every sadness accumulated throughout the year. December is the end of a cycle, a natural end of cycle, that we think about life and the year, we remember good things, but much more the bad things that happen to us. Then this period of time leads people to ask themselves, for what and for whom? Is my life worth it? Yes, not everyone go through it, but many do, including King Solomon. We can say that King Solomon went through some kind of December blues because he did all he wanted and desired, and in his end, in the end of all, he felt an emptiness. He found an emptiness. The text says in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 11, "Then I looked on all the works that my hands had done," which means a general evaluation. Let me look at what I've done, which is what people do at the end of the year, and on the labor in which I had toiled. And indeed, all, no exception, was vanity and grasping for the wind. There was no profit under the sun. Solomon was very sincere and truthful. We have no time to read all that he said, but you who are going through a similar situation, the book of Ecclesiastes will resonate with you. You who are going through December blues, I advise you to read the book of Ecclesiastes, because while Solomon was going through some kind of December blues, he wrote about everything he felt, everything he enjoyed, to search for happiness, and in the end, he only found a great emptiness, a chamber with an endless echo. That's how deep was the emptiness of his soul. He got to the point of saying, I hated this life. Maybe you say, Bishop, I don't want to read this book. I'm bad, and I'll read this. No, you will talk about what he learned, the answer he reached. And yes, you can read that, because God will bring you hope. But you can see that even King Solomon went through this moment. So it is not something that you should think like this. There's something wrong with me. No, it is something natural. It's not that you should accept and surrender yourself, but it is natural for us to go through a moment that we evaluate in our lives and look at the things we haven't reached and to consider us as a failure. Especially in this period of time when people are smiling, celebrating. And don't forget, not everyone who is smiling is happy, and everyone who is celebrating should be celebrating. Not every party has happy people. Often, those who are most sad, they need a party. Those who are most accomplished and happy don't need parties or fireworks. So don't be deceived by the celebrations of this period of time, so that you may feel tempted to compare your life with these people on social media and so on and so forth, because this is most probably a great lie. It is not true. No one knows what is inside the person. So it is natural for you to have this feeling, this sensation, but it is then that you must wake up to the side of faith. Because if you use your feelings, indeed, you will dive into December blues like someone who learns who has a disease and surrender to the disease. They go into the doctor's office with some complaints, with pains here or there. They're just suspecting to having something, but when the doctor says, you have this, that's it, they live even worse. Why? Because they have accepted, they have embraced that diagnosis. They suffered with their feelings, thoughts, with the disease that the doctor told them that they have. It might be that they actually have it, but you see that there are some who face a disease saying, you chose the wrong body. You won't be here, disease. I won't give in to you. And doctors say that there are way more results when they treat a patient who believes in their recovery than the ones who gave in to the diagnostic. So we cannot surrender. If I look at 2025 and think, what were the things I haven't reached that I wished I could have reached? Certainly, I will have things to put in a list that I will take with me to 2026. It doesn't mean that I won't reach them. It might be that I haven't reached in 2025, but the year is not over. Am I right? Many matches turn the score in the last minute. It's not because I haven't reached yet that I won't reach it, because it wasn't in 25 that I won't reach it in 26 or 7. There are many things I would like it to have happened, and like me, it's the same with you. However, I prefer to look at the things I have reached. I prefer to look at the things I have received. I prefer to do as that old hymn, count the blessings. Count how many they are. Do you remember it? That ancient hymn, count the blessings. Count how many they are. Am I right? That I have received from the divine hand, one by one. It is an ancient hymn from the days that they would do songs about God or faith, not to sell, not to make money, but to pass a message. And this advice from this hymn, indeed, is good for this time of the year. Count the blessings, dear friends. Count your blessings. Count what God has done up until now for you, what you have reached. Be grateful. You will be an immediate healing to December blues, which is called gratitude. For you to look at what you have achieved and say, there are things I haven't achieved, but look how many others I did, what I've been through, what I lived for, that I overcame, and I am here. It's like the meme on the internet. Is it over, Jessica? Is it over 2025? That's all you got? This is our faith. This is our faith. We are ready for whatever comes. Those who are in faith, of course. If you are rooted in faith, in the Word of God, then you don't fear tomorrow. You don't fear the future, because you are hand in hand with the Lord of the future, the Lord of tomorrow. So He holds everything that is ours in His hands. He has our lives in His hands. So there's nothing to fear. What I suggest for you to be healed from this December blues is precisely this. Look at your recent past, look at this year, and count your blessings. Count them. How many they are. How many blessings you have achieved. And maybe you forgot to thank God for them. So here's a tip for you to number them and be grateful to God for everything He has done for you. Up until now, the Lord has been with us and will keep helping us if we remain firm with Him until the end. Then, bye, December Blues. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.